More than 32 years after Pan Am 103 was brought down over Lockerbie, a third and posthumous appeal on behalf of the only man convicted of the bombing has been rejected. 5 judges have ruled that Abdul Basit al-Megrahi was not the victim of a miscarriage of justice when he was found guilty of murdering 270 people. Scottish prosecutors welcomed the decision and are considering bringing fresh charges over the case. Megrahi's lawyers plan to appeal to the UK Supreme Court in London. David Cowan's report contains flash photography.
This is another historic moment in a decades-old case, a landmark ruling which will mean different things to the relatives of those who died. Rick Minetti was a 21-year-old student flying home to the US for Christmas. His sister leads an organisation representing American families.
I mean, I don't know how many more decisions can be made that says the conviction at trial was the correct decision. So yes, I think this is a definite line in the sand that yes, Megrahi is a convicted murderer, period. End of story.
Flora Swire was travelling from England to spend Christmas with her American boyfriend. Her father was involved in talks that led to the Lockerbie trial 20 years ago.
And I can remember very vividly telling Colonel Gaddafi in those days, saying to him, look, if your men come for trial under Scottish law, they will get a fair trial. I bitterly regret having told him that.
Rick and Flora were among the 270 people who died when Pan Am 103 was brought down over Lockerbie in 1988. Libyan intelligence agent Abdul Basit al-Megrahi was convicted of bombing the plane by a Scottish court sitting in the Netherlands. His first appeal was dismissed a year later.
None of the grounds of appeal is well founded.
5 years on, in jail in Scotland, Megrahi won a second appeal, but fell terminally ill with cancer and abandoned it days before he was released on compassionate grounds by the Scottish Government. He died in Libya in 2012. A third appeal in the name of his family was heard through virtual hearings last November.
Megrahi's legal team put forward 2 grounds of appeal. 1, that based on the evidence of the trial, no reasonable jury properly directed could have returned that guilty verdict. And 2, the prosecution had failed to disclose relevant evidence to the defence. The 5 appeal court judges have rejected both arguments. The conviction stands.
I spoke to Ali Megrahi this morning, the youngest son, and he said he was left heartbroken by the decision of the Scottish courts. But he maintains his father's innocence and says he is determined to pursue the truth and to pursue justice, and accordingly the legal team has been instructed as of this morning to appeal to the UK Supreme Court.
But the case could shift in a dramatically different direction. The US Justice Department has announced criminal charges against another Libyan, Abu Ghila Massoud. They claim he's confessed to making the Lockerbie bomb. Scottish prosecutors might follow suit.
Today does not mark the end of the pursuit of justice in this case. And it gives me an opportunity to renew the commitment given by Lord Advocate Boyd in 2001 that the investigation of all those responsible for this crime will continue.
So could there be a second Lockerbie trial?
It's a possibility.
32 years after the deaths of Rick Minetti, Flora Swire and 268 other innocent souls, this is far from over. David Cowan reporting Scotland.